What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today I have Nemleria slash Nemleria OTK. I've been testing with this version of the deck. I've been messing around with it, just trying to figure some things out with it. And I found out that this deck actually has the potential to OTK. However, this is also an archetype that doesn't have all of the support yet. So if you guys want to see me update this when they get the rest of their support later in July, let me know down in the comment section below. And without further ado, let's get straight into the sauce. Starting us off with the Nemleria monsters, we have 3 copies of Dreaming Nemleria. Dreaming Nemleria has the effect, or her scale effect is you can send her from your scales to the extra deck in order to place the Dreaming Nemleria continuous spell face up in your spell and trap zone from your main deck. And then her monster effect is if you have no other cards in your extra deck other than her, you can special summon it from the extra deck and then banish 1 card your opponent controls for every 3 face down banished cards you own. So the whole strategy of this deck is you're banishing your extra deck face down, and you want to do it as fast as possible in order to summon Dreaming Nemleria to be able to banish a massive amount of cards. And then for every card you banish, you get to shuffle back one of your face down banished cards, which is really, really nice. Then I'm also on 2 copies of Nemleria Dream Defender Orailer. Orailer is part of your OTK pieces. He has a quick effect where he can banish a face down card in your extra deck face down. I know, very weird wording, but that's how the entire archetype is worded. So you banish a face down card in your extra deck face down in order to boost his attack by 500 points for every monster your opponent controls. And then both Orailer and the next monster we're going to be talking about, which is Nemleria Dream Defender Coot. Both of them have a special summon clause where you can special summon them from your hand if you have the face-up Pendulum monster in your extra deck. And you can only special summon them once per turn. But Coot is a targeting negation. If a Nemleria card you control is targeted by an opponent's card effect, banish a face-down card from your extra deck face down, negate the effect, which is really good. It's a way to just kind of get through negates. And then we're on 3 copies of Sweet Dreams Nemleria, which searches any Nemleria monster from your deck to your hand. And then you can also put it from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck in order to target a Dreaming Nemleria you control and put it into your extra deck face up. Because Dreaming Nemleria's scale effect says you can't summon her the same turn you use that effect. So this kind of helps bypass that, especially if you open with one of your 3 copies of Dream Tower of Princess Nemleria. This card is pretty cracked. You manage 2 face down cards from your extra deck face down to add 2 level 10 beasts from your deck with different names. And then if Dreaming Nemleria is face up in your extra deck, you can anytime one of your Nemleria monsters would be destroyed, you can banish a face down card in your extra deck face down to prevent them from being destroyed. And that is it for the Nemleria cards. Like I said, there's not a lot of them out yet. They are still being released. We have, I think, 1 wave of support coming out in Duelist Nexus. And then I think that's really it for the archetype unless they decide to release more, which I would love to see more for this deck. Give it a little bit more of a defined playstyle. But next up, I'm on 3 copies of Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. I'm just going to call this card Gizmek Orochi. So Gizmek Orochi has the quick effect to special summon itself from your hand or graveyard by banishing the top 8 cards of your deck face down. This card really helps with getting Dreaming Nemleria online because it's just shy of being, oh, now let me make you banish 3 cards by summoning this monster, or 3 extra cards by summoning this monster. Orochi Really good. He also has an effect where you can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down in order to target a card on the field and destroy it. It's a hard once per turn. But just the ability to banish 11 cards face down is really, really cracked. And then the next monster we're going to be talking about is our 3 copies of Eater of Millions. Eater of Millions cannot be normal summoned or set and has to be special summoned by banishing 5 or more cards from your hand, field, or extra deck face down. And then it can't be used as material for anything. Except Link. It can be used for Link summons. It just can't be used for Fusion Synchro or Xyz. And then at the start of the damage step, whenever it battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster face down. Which is really good. But basically this card is part of what enables OTKs in this deck, because you can just banish whatever value out of the extra deck you want as long as it's 5 or greater. That gets you close to running out of cards in the extra deck. And then you can use the rest of the cards in your extra deck in order to, well, extend your plays. And then for our final generic monster, we are on 3 copies of Gridmaji Daiza. This card helps with the OTK as well. It's also our only normal summon in the deck. Everything else in the deck, you're never normal summoning. There is no other normal summon. It is literally normal summon Gridmaju and possibly OTK. There are times where I have over 30 cards banished in a single turn with this deck. So this deck has the ability to OTK, especially through Gridmaju. Then we have 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity, just because it helps us burn through that extra deck just a tad quicker. Then I'm also on 2 copies of Cross-Out Designator and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. And that is it for the generic cards. Now we're gonna get into the hand traps, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know how I usually don't run a lot of hand traps. Well, unfortunately, this is not one of those decks where you can afford to not run a lot of hand traps. So, currently, I am on 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This deck has a lot of hand traps in it. But that's also because, like I said, not all of the Nemleria cards are there. But being able to combo off and, have plenty of disruption. Obviously, Ogre is really good in the current format. Imperm, I'm not so sure is amazing right now. But Droll and Ogre are super good. And Ash is just kind of there. But that's it for the main deck. I'm going to skip over the extra deck because I never have an opportunity to use the extra deck. So, we're just going to skip straight into the side deck. If I could grab it, thank you. Starting us off in the side deck, we have 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. Now, I know, more hand traps. I promise, there's only one more hand trap after this. And that hand trap in the side deck is going to be 3 copies of DD Crow. Nibiru is for if you're going second against a heavy combo deck, you have your Nibiru in order to stop the heavy combo deck. And then the DD Crows are kind of here for Dragon Link and Sky Striker, because obviously everybody's hyping up Sky Striker, or not everybody's really hyping up Dragon Link, but the Bestials, if they lose their target to banish from the graveyard, it kind of prevents them from being summoned. So that's why I'm on the DD Crow, and you can also banish Ray off of DD Crow. So if you can't afford the Bestials, DD Crow is the next best thing. Then I am on 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. to also help us go second when our hand is obviously not able to OTK but able to break boards. Dark Ruler just helps facilitate breaking boards really, really easy. And then I'm also on 3 copies of Di-Fi and 3 copies of Macrocosmos. These could be anything you want. You could play Shifter if you wanted. But essentially, I'm on Di-Fi Macro because Di-Fi Macro. That's as explanatory as it gets. If you're playing against decks that can utilize the graveyard, such as Striker, such as Dragon Link, such as Super Heavy, throwing these cards in and going first, setting up a Di-Fi against Macro or against Super Heavy, kind of just wins the game. Setting up Macro against Striker kind of can win the game. It's still just going to be a grind fest. Yeah, that is going to be it for the deck. I know this one's a lot shorter than my videos usually are, and that is mainly because the decks that I am trying to finish building, the cards are not in yet. I have a deck that's more competitive than this that I've been working on that I've been working on getting all the cards for months. Like, it's well, not months. I ordered everything for this deck on May 4th, and it's still not here. So hopefully I can get the cards for that deck, and you guys will have your video on a more competitive deck where I'll actually go over cards in depth. I actually have extra deck to go over in depth, and so on. But as I said, with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the deck profile. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button. This is a very casual friendly deck. It's also a very budget friendly deck. There are cards that you can take out of this to help afford it. Such as, Nibiru is actually fairly affordable, $4 a copy. Ash is fairly affordable now. Ghost Ogre is still affordable even though being really good. Droll, it's about $3 a copy. Nibiru is about $4 a copy, and I said that's affordable, but you guys kind of get what I mean. This deck is affordable, and as I said, this deck has a surprising potential to OTK. If you open with Sweet Dreams Nemleria plus Orochi or Eater, specifically if you open Sweet Dreams plus Eater of Millions, that's essentially your OTK right there. Because you can set up, you can, well, actually, no, you need the continuous spell too. But that's why we run 3 of the continuous spells, so we'll actually open with it. And as I said, with that being said, hope y'all did enjoy this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.